welcome back to Tina Butty Podcast with me, Erica.
And me, Dominic.
And today we're going to talk about Christmas television advertisements.
Christmas commercials, as they're known over here.
Yeah, commercials. It's hard to say. I was going to say adverts, but I thought that would sound too pretentious.
Advertisements. Advertisements.
Yeah.
Ads.
TV
Christmas
ads. Yeah.
The TV ads. Which aren't really a classic thing over here, are they?
No, not really.
No, they're not really a traditional... I mean, whereas...
I mean, we have them.
I mean, obviously, yeah, you do. I mean, we just watched a top 10 best American ones, didn't we? And they're all from, like, the 80s and the early 90s. You haven't updated your Christmas ads since.
The 80s was a very sentimental time, apparently.
Yeah, it was the last time America did its 80s vision of the future, you know, with all the digital clocks, and it was like, oh yeah, we're going into the future now.
No, okay, so we need to back up a little bit, because in case you have no idea why this is a podcast, it's because in Britain, for the last 5 years at least?
For the last about 10, I'd say.
10 years, Christmas ads have been a thing, like a big thing. Like people wait all year long before the new department store, grocery store, whatever, Christmas commercial.
In the last 10 years, they've really started stepping up their game.
Yeah. And I think it's all due to one store in particular, which we do not have in America, but it's called John Lewis.
John Lewis!
Yeah. So that is the reason for this podcast, because television ads, commercials, as they are known in America, are huge in Britain at Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at Christmas time, it's like that's the tradition, you know. It's like, they're just been released,
and they're just not over here.
The John Lewis ad or whatever.
In America, I don't know why I said the way I said America was very like America. Yeah, in America, our big commercials come out during the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl ads. That's when because that's everybody's watching the Super Bowl, so they'll be watching the ads.
Yeah. And a lot of money is spent on those ads.
A lot of money is spent on it's like, whereas a lot of money is spent on the Super Bowl ads over here, the Super Bowl commercials. It's the same for the Christmas, they fork out. John Lewis spends like 10 million
And it's a very similar kind of thing, because the Christmas commercials in Britain are very like they're story
themed now. John Lewis, well, I mean, for the last 10 years have been doing a story campaign. They call it a campaign.
Right.
Campaign, yeah. And I think that the first one they've really pumped any money into was in 2007, but it just generally didn't start happening until The Bear and the Hare in 2013, because what they usually do with it is they put a cover version of a song to go with it, and usually that cover version goes to number one.
Yeah, a cover version of like a classic
song. Yeah, there was The Bear and the Hare, and that was from 2013. So that was set to a cover of Keen's Somewhere Only We Know, and it was 2D animation. It was like a Disney kind of thing. Woodland animals in like the classic Disney style. And, it told the story of a bear hibernating before Christmas, before being persuaded to wake up by the titular hare to see Christmas in all its splendor. The accompanying music, rose to the top of the singles charts and everything. Before that, there was The Journey, which was set to the Frankie Goes to Hollywood classic, The Power of Love, which was a Christmas #1 in the 80s.
Yeah, but, we watched some of the older commercials, and I'm not really... not impressed, in my opinion.
The 2012 advert showed a snowman who traversed fields, a river and a mountain to obtain a perfect Christmas gift for Mrs. Snowman.
Yeah.
So it's like they're cute little story ones, I think
the best one and the start of the craze.
The start of the craze started with Monty the Penguin.
Yeah.
In 2014.
And it's a cute commercial, but I don't really understand the hype, to be honest.
What, you don't really care for it that much?
No, it's cute. But it's a commercial.
It's a commercial. It was just really sweet. Everybody's like, "Oh, look at that little penguin." You know, he really desperately wanted.
I mean, I
someone
love penguins.
And also,
and
it had
song.
It had a cover of "Real Love" by John Lennon.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't. It was a cover by Tom Hodel. I think he recorded the John Lennon song "Real Love."
Yeah, and I love that
so
song.
So that you know, like anything Beatles is probably gonna make it even more poignant.
Yeah. And it's a very cute commercial, but it is a commercial at the end of the day.
Oh, it's a commercial. It's a commercial for John Lewis, but it's really like the premise of the ad was it tells the tale of the unlikely friendship between a little boy and his penguin. If you haven't seen it, you can go watch it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the penguins
I don't know.
all alone.
I guess we shouldn't spoil them.
Yeah.
If you have any interest.
I suppose if you have any interest, but it's like, you know, if you watch it, you'll be like, oh, you know, they're tear jerkers. You know, it's really cute.
Yeah. They're sweet little commercials.
Yeah. The next one.
No, they are very sweet, but what is the craze though? Like,
I think that was the one that
because
it was just like, oh, you know, it was. John Lewis started marketing Monty the Penguin. Kids wanted it. Kids were like obsessed with it then, you know?
Yeah.
It's like this year's one has sparked a craze.
Yeah.
You know? The next one, after the 2015 one, was about...
The Man in the Moon.
The Man in the Moon, yeah, which was like an elderly man, you know, and it's like, oh, they get lonely around Christmas, and... Yeah,
this little girl could see him with her telescope, and she's just like, it was about a little... Yeah, that one was more touching, I suppose, you know, than the penguins were sweet, but... this is a bit difficult to talk about because I didn't realize the fact that we might spoil these for you if you haven't seen them and you want to see them. They are on YouTube. They are all on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the ones we're specifically talking about at the moment are the John Lewis ads.
Because
I think those are the most popular in Britain.
They're like the forefront. Yeah, they've
those, and then maybe Sainsbury's ads,
and then maybe Marks and Spencer.
Yeah,
which have kind of been hit and miss so far because, I don't know if it was Marks and Spencer this year that did Chimney Sweep Nick.
Oh, yeah.
The boy who turned into Santa Claus.
Yeah,
you know?
that was a good story.
I think that was Marks and Spencer. If it wasn't, then I'm going to get into trouble.
Yeah, they're like little movies. They're
2-minute stories, basically.
I think people like them because they're just like little quick movies. Yeah. They have a beginning, they have a story, they have an end, and they're all very sweet and they heartwarming and they like put you in the Christmas mood. Yeah. So I see the appeal, but I
think the biggest
they
one,
really
though,
have blown up in Britain though. Like people lose their minds for these commercials.
Yeah, because it started with Monty the Penguin, but it's also Sainsbury's had a really touching one that year too in 2014 with the Christmas Truce of 1914.
Oh yes, now that one obviously is.
And then the next year,
I think let's go ahead and talk about that one because I mean that's not a spoiler. If you know anything about the First World War, obviously 2014 was the 100-year anniversary.
Yeah,
and if you know anything about it, at Christmas time during the First World War.
In 1914, yeah.
Yeah.
The first year of the war.
They called a truce at Christmas.
It was like an unofficial one, too. It was very kind of like organized by the soldiers, you know.
Yeah.
Someone came up from the trenches and they started having a kickabout and started talking to each other and just kind of like...
Kickabout meaning soccer, by the way. A game of soccer.
A game of soccer, and, you know, they were just kind of like sharing their Christmas treats, and then they were singing Silent Night, and you know, they were just basically having a little bit of a party when they were supposed to be killing each other. And it was just like they
just decided, God, it was Christmas Eve, wasn't it?
It was Christmas Eve,
yeah. And so basically that's what the Sainsbury's ad
was depicting.
And you might say, well, what does that have to do with a grocery store? But, you know, that's the thing with all of these ads is they kind of take a step back from the
marketing,
advertising.
The advertising just to kind of like, you know, like, oh, what was that little movie that I saw. Oh, the Penguin. Oh, about the Christmas truce. Who was by that? Oh, Sainsbury's. It was the Sainsbury's ad. You know, it was the John Lewis ad.
Right. So they're not like specifically saying, "Oh, we have this, and this in our stores. Come in and buy them today."
It's just who can make you cry, on this Christmas. Like
who can get you talking about their ad.
Just watch that, and I'm just crying.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Which I wonder how well it actually does for their sales. I wonder if it has.
Sainsbury's is a massive grocery store, so it's just gonna. I don't know how they're gonna be able to. I mean, John Lewis can market their Monty the Penguin with a stuffed Monty the Penguin and Monty the Penguin stuff.
Yeah, right.
And then they had like the next year was the Man in the Moon, which I guess they kind of like marketed.
They can market that too. Yeah.
And they had, in 2018 they had Elton John.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of like a tie-in for Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Something, it was just about his life. And
I quite liked it. It was a good commercial. It was the way they showed how a gift can sort of change a person's life.
Yes,
a single gift.
In this case, a piano, and it was just about and he was in it. He was in the ad. And, ITV changed the theme tunes in several of its programs to the piano arrangements and all that prior to its premiere. It's like, oh yeah, the premiere of the ad is coming,
Yeah.
It's like a big deal, like the John Lewis ad is here. This year was Excitable Edgar, the dragon. That was really cute. Mm-hmm. That was your favourite one so far, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
He's a little young dragon who's excited about Christmas and he wants to help out, but of course he breathes fire, so
and
in a snowy thing, he's just melting everything and setting everything on fire, and the poor little thing, he's all like, wah.
Yeah, and everybody's mad at him and everything because he's just ruining everything. And we showed it to our niece and nephew, and of course my niece, being the emotional little thing that she is, cried.
It's so beautiful.
Poor dragon.
The poor little dragon. They just wanted to play with people.
He just wanted to have fun. He was just so excited about Christmas.
Yeah, and we were talking about it the other day or something. She started crying as well.
It's just the memory.
Just the memory of that poor little dragon. Poor little excitable Edgar.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But
Sainsbury's ad this year, I don't know what it was.
It's good because the competition just inspires each of these stores or companies to start to up their game, basically.
Yeah.
Which is fun at Christmas time. It just sort of gives a spirit of, I don't know, just.
Because you're thinking, oh, what are they going to do next year?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these things are like based on like little stories and stuff, and they've claimed to have come up with them by themselves, but it's like.
Some people have said, wait a minute. I have a book.
Moz the Monster, a lot of like authors came out, an author came out and said, oh, it's nice to see that John Lewis are ripping me off or whatever,
Because it's about a monster under a little boy's bed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Edgar had a couple of authors saying, "Oh, the dragon,
my little green dragon,
and the girl with him had red hair."
But I mean, you know what? How many stories are there about a little green dragon?
Well, that's John Lewis's defense.
How many stories are there about a monster under a little boy's bed?
Yeah,
it's like
there's a lot of them. Yeah,
those are pretty basic things.
How many stories are there about a boy who receives a piano and becomes Elton John?
No, I mean, at the same time, I suppose if I had written a story that was very similar and ad was getting
them too.
And this ad was getting a lot of attention,
this controversy helps them too, if they start putting in
come
plagiarism
out with,
claim.
My story,
like that, the monster under the bed, his story sold out because everybody
people wanted to go get it and see. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mr. Underbed.
People love a bit of drama. So yeah, I suppose so. They're like, oh, let's go get that book and see if it really is like the commercial. And
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It really does help them, I suppose, if they have any sort of platform where they can come out and say, wait a minute, this is my thing. Of course, you're going to get a lot of people just claiming that just for the attention or whatever as well, though.
I think I do like Sainsbury's 2015 advert, Mog's Christmas Calamity.
Oh, yeah, that was It
was an animated one about a cat that everything just wouldn't go right.
Yeah.
Poor little thing.
He just wanted, what did he want? He wanted something, and
he wanted to get something, and he just ended up tearing the place up. And destroying everything. Yeah.
Literally, yeah. But this is what happens in America.
Almost sees Christmas ruined for the family, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But he wanted something specific. I can't remember.
Yeah, go watch them. They're all on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe we should name a list for people who who don't know about these commercials. They're all on YouTube. You can actually just put in YouTube top British Christmas commercials
top Christmas commercials, because they're all pretty much from Britain. They're all coming out from Britain usually, Yeah. Over here it's kind of like we were watching that one, and then the Yellow Pages one popped up, and I was like, that was from like the 90s. Yeah, I remember that, with the girl. If you're my age, you'll remember. The girl is waiting there with the mistletoe with her eyes closed, waiting for a kiss, and he's not tall enough to give her a kiss, so he goes and grabs the phone book, and of course the phone book is obsolete now.
Well, I think that companies like that, like you were saying, the Coca-Cola ones, obviously that's our company.
Yes.
But it's also a worldwide
thing.
Company,
the holidays are coming.
Yeah.
Holidays are coming.
With the polar bears.
Always Coca-Cola.
Yes. Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag we wish.
But yeah, so commercials like that, you can see them in Britain, you can see them in America. Yellow Pages, we definitely had that over here. That same commercial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The holidays are coming. I remember that polar bear commercial though.
Polar bear, and there was
they also had
the Folgers one.
For a while they had they changed it to Santa packs because everybody wanted them because they were decorated for Christmas. The box of the
yes.
Yeah, and so they changed the holidays are coming to Santa packs are coming. Santa packs are coming.
I remember them now.
I remember
the cans of Coke that had Santa on them. Yes, yeah. I remember them now. That was about 15 years ago.
Yeah,
now.
I remember that because my brother used to sing that commercial crazily and like drive us all completely crazy.
This one's like 25 Days of Christmas.
Yes.
That's a freeform commercial.
Yes.
And there's another one over here for TJ Maxx.
Oh my God.
It's because there's so many big Christmas adverts coming out of Britain. They're just kind of like, we're kind of off our game here.
But ours are very much We've spent all
our money on the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, yeah.
Because it's like 10...
because that happened... What I was going to say before is that does happen at the Super Bowl. The companies sort of try to one-up each other. And
they try the funniest or the most memorable.
Yeah, who can have the commercial that everybody's talking about after the Super Bowl. And I remember when I was a kid, over the course of the Super Bowl, one company might have like 4 different ads spread out, and it's a whole story. The first ad is the first part of the story, and then the next ad is like the next part of the story. And that was really clever because then you wanted to see the next part and the next part, so you keep watching, especially the commercial breaks, because what's going to happen?
That's a clever one, but at the same time, they kind of don't do that. Oh, the Iron Brew commercials.
Oh yeah.
The Iron Brew released one in I think it was the early 2000s.
2006, I think it said.
Yeah, parodying the 1982 short film The Snowman, which everyone in Britain will know. I'm walking in the air. You've got my Iron Brew. It's just, if you haven't seen The Snowman, the original film, go watch it. Raymond Briggs wrote the original story, I think, but it's like an animated film. But yeah, Iron Brew parodied it, where the snowman wanted this kid's Iron Brew, you know, and he wouldn't give it to him, so he snatched it and went off, and that was it, you know.
Yeah.
And then they released a sequel this year, you know, to that advert saying,
that's
you thought
funny.
this tale was done, you know. It's just like, and he's going after the snowman. And then, I mean, to spoil it, Santa grabs the Iron Brew and off he's gone, you know.
People in the comments were like, oh, can't wait to see the next one
in 2025.
Another 5 years or whatever. Yeah, I like things like that. So if you're not British, just to recap really quickly, and you want to look these commercials up, the best commercials come from John Lewis, Sainsbury's, Marks and Spencer. Sometimes Asda can have one.
Argos can have one.
Yeah, I mean, there's others too, but
Tesco don't really do one.
For the most part, the other ads, aside from those companies, are basically a lot like the same kind of ads that we have over here. They're just like regular.
They're just
Christmas
regular
ads.
Christmas ads, like, oh yeah, you know, this Christmas pick up, you know, whatever.
But those companies specifically, they try to tell like a little story that doesn't really necessarily have anything to do with their business, other than to get you talking about their business because you like their ad.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's like a little miniature.
It's something
movie.
they can, like, you know, hark back to and put in their stores, you know. Because, I mean, for example, John Lewis have started coming out with Edgar the Excitable Dragon book, Edgar the Excitable Dragon plushie toy, pajamas, you know, T-shirts, whatever, you know.
Right. Like, they could probably come out with a movie about him if they wanted to.
I mean, well, the advert is the movie.
Well,
I guess, so.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, if you want to look those up, they are all on YouTube. And
Aldi came out with Kevin the Carrot this year, didn't it? And the Leafy Blinders.
Oh, the Leafy Blinders. The Leafy Blinders, of course, being a play on Peaky Blinders.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was your favourite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were Brussels sprouts in, like, little flat caps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, so in America, just really quickly for any British people who want to know what American ads are like, they're basically just ads that are Christmas themed.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't know if you guys in Britain have the M&M's ad, but that's a pretty popular one at Christmas.
Yeah. No, over here, like, they get the ads. You go on about the Hershey one. Oh, that's been running for 40 years.
The Hershey's one. Yeah, the one he's talking about, of course, is little Hershey's Kisses, and they're all like in a diamond formation, or actually like a triangle formation. And one is silver, and he's like the conductor, and the rest of them are red and green, and they're all like swinging out like bells.
Yeah.
And they just literally play the dung dung dung, what he just did.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And it would be a cute advert if the chocolate wasn't so bad.
But yeah, that ad it's been going at least 20 years, and I think they show it every single year.
Every single year.
At least 20 years. No longer than that. It's gone.
I've been here almost 10 years, and it's come on every year.
Yeah. There's another classic one that I noticed they show every once in a while. It's a Campbell's soup ad.
The snowman.
Mm-hmm. And I think that one came out in the very early 90s.
Yeah, it shows the boy coming out, but I don't remember that. They've updated that somewhere.
I don't know.
It's not a boy anymore, you know?
What is it?
It's just a snowman that melts.
No. The whole point of the ad is the snowman comes in from outside. It's really blustery. And it's like, blowing a storm, you know, and he sits down at the table in front of a bowl of Campbell's soup and starts eating. And as he's eating, because it's hot and all the steam's coming up off the soup, the snowman starts melting. And you realize it's a little boy. It wasn't a snowman. You know, he's just been outside playing.
But the updated version, maybe they've edited it.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I don't remember the boy coming out of the snowman.
No one knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, you do. People with your tinfoil hats out there, you know what I'm talking about. No! They know.
But yeah, the M&M's one, with they see Santa and he says, they do exist. Yeah, and then
he does exist.
He does exist, and they both pass out.
Santa?
Yeah.
Hey, Santa.
Trying to think. Yeah, the Folgers one that you mentioned earlier.
I've never seen that one. I mean, Folgers don't even...
That was from the 80s.
Yeah, Folgers don't even advertise anymore, do they?
I don't know.
Oh,
the best part of waking up
is Folgers in your cup.
Yeah, that was always their slogan.
Well, I've seen that advert.
If you guys are around my age or older, then you remember the ad that he's talking about. We just watched it on YouTube. You can find American Christmas ads on YouTube also.
But they're all like 80s or 90s, I mean, we just did kind of like, like when we watch Christmas adverts, like around the Christmas period from like the 1980s and 1990s, people put them up on YouTube, just for nostalgia. And, you watch like Argos and stuff, it's just, this is what's Argos on sale at Argos this year, and get yourself down here. And
so the Folgers one he's talking about, though, is the kid comes home from college or whatever, wherever he's been. We don't know. He's been gone for a while. He comes in. It's early in the morning. His little sister's the only one awake, and she's all like, "Oh, Billy," or whatever his name is. He comes in with all the presents, and he's like, "Shh," and they go into the kitchen, and he brews like a full cup of coffee, or a pot of coffee, I guess.
Because it's been bloody cold out there.
Yeah.
He needs that coffee.
Mom and Dad can smell the coffee, and big sister, whoever, can smell the coffee, and so they wake up and they come down the stairs and they're like,
Billy, you made coffee. Now get out of here.
You're home and you made coffee. This is the best day ever.
And it's like the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Yeah, but that one was very 80s, very, very old. There was another funny one that I had not thought about until we just saw it on YouTube a little bit ago, too. It was a Fruity Pebbles commercial from Christmas time.
Flintstones, yeah.
And it was the Flintstones, and Barney, for some reason, is trying all these schemes to, like, get Fred to share his Fruity Pebbles with him, and at the end, he's going to come down the chimney dressed as Santa, but Santa's already in there eating the Fruity Pebbles, and Barney's like, "Oh, you're eating my Fruity Pebbles," or something.
Your Fruity Pebbles?
Yeah, and Santa's just like, "Oh, you mean they're mine," or whatever. But it was just funny watching that, because I can remember it. Like, all of a sudden, I went back in my mind to, like, being a kid, and I was just like, "Oh my God, yeah, I remember this commercial," because I was super into the Flintstones when I was a kid.
Yes.
They reran them all the time, so I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember this commercial."
I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
current, I can't think of any, like, current American ones. It seems like we just saw...
Well, that TJ Maxx one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one that was like a tearjerker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
what was that for?
A sort of a recent one that was a little bit of a tearjerker, but I seem to think it was like Apple or something like that. Like, it was a big company, so it's probably being shown around the world.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I can't really remember it.
But yeah, the TJ Maxx. We just have these annoying commercials that have, like, songs that get stuck in your head, and you want
to... Something.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm making this song up as I go." It's a TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, because of course,
and he's walking through like a Christmas villagey, snow-laden place.
Snow-laden.
Laden with snow, isn't it? Snowser laden.
Oh my God.
Laden snowser.
But anyway, let us know what some of your favorite Christmas TV commercials are. I'm sure we didn't even scratch the surface of them in Britain or America, actually. Maybe you're British and listening. You're not, because we don't have hardly any British people, but
yeah.
Maybe you're
one person.
Maybe you know, yeah, nab deep. Yeah. maybe you know someone that's British who's older and knows, like, "Oh yeah, we used to have the same kind of commercials." Like, this John Lewis phenomenon isn't just a recent thing. Like, we've always had emotional Christmas commercials or something.
Yes.
Let us know, because we don't know. And
you don't know.
And if you're American, let us know your favorite American Christmas TV commercial. Because there are a lot of them. I mean, pretty much every company does one. And some of them are funny. But, I mean, for the most part, you don't really pay that much attention to them, do you? Because it's just... They're just a commercial, like kind of like anything else, only there's a Christmas tree standing there.
There's a Christmas tree standing, or a little snowman, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I do remember the Coca-Cola ones were always like sweet, you know. Whatever we were watching, they were mentioning that the one where the polar bears were trying to share the Coke with the penguins, or or vice versa. I can't remember.
The cutest.
Yeah, those were always cute. I seem to think there's a cute one out right now too, but I don't remember.
I don't remember, but it was cute.
Anyway, I think we're done here.
Yes, I think the advert is over.
Yeah, the advert's over.
# tea and a buddy.
Speaking of adverts, you might want to go check out our shop on Amazon. There's a link on our website.
And go follow our Instagram, Tea Buddy Shop.
Yeah.
With all the best deals.
Yeah. And guys, please keep in mind that we do not have this stock here with us.
We do, actually. We're sitting on it right now.
We don't ship the stuff out or any of that kind of stuff. This is more of just like a curated shop where we have sort of gone through and handpicked things that we think that you would be interested in, things that you might like, things that you might not know about and might be curious about. Some of the prices are crazy. I'm going to say that because, you know, I didn't make the prices. So
you did.
But they have to do with import tax and shipping, cost of shipping and all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, if you're gonna be in another country and want to eat snacks and stuff from another country, just know that you're gonna pay a bit more than you would if you were actually there.
Yes, yeah.
And we're setting the American side of the shop up. We're going to try to put some of our favorite American snacks too, just in case there are any British or Canadian or Australian or whoever listeners out there that might be interested in some of the stuff that we like to eat.
Texas style.
On a normal basis, yeah. But for the most part, most of the stuff that's in there is British stuff.
It's mostly British stuff, yeah.
Yeah, we do have a little Christmas shop. I know it's getting kind of late already to order that, but if you have Amazon Prime, then you can get free 2-day shipping.
Free 2-day shipping with Amazon Prime, everybody.
You can get this stuff kind of quickly. We have like Christmas ornaments, all the traditional British Christmas stuff, Christmas pudding, mince pies, Christmas cake. I don't know what else. There's like a bake-off cookbook and
bake-off with Mary Berry.
Yeah,
well,
all kinds of stuff.
Doesn't do it anymore. But.
Anyway, check that out, and thank you for listening. As always, we so appreciate you. We wouldn't do this if you weren't listening. I mean, we would, because we just
love to talk.
We love to talk. We love to hear.
We just love talking to you.
But we wouldn't record it if it weren't for you.
Yeah, we would. We listen to these regularly. Twice a week.
So anyway, thank you, and we'll talk to you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.